You hear nothing but screams and moans and people fighting with the guards and chains and keys and clanks and yelling, screaming, constantly banging on doors and shit. It's horrible, man. It's bad. So as a mental health professional right now, I don't know how I did it. Honestly, I don't know how the fuck I did it. It was, man, just thinking about that right now, man. I felt like I was locked up for a second there, bro. Just hearing all that shit, you know, it's crazy. It's bad. Ready?
You have to pat yourself on the back.
I mean,
because we deal with people, and you see people and who go through things and they can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, bro, don't get me started on that, because I'm telling you, the sad part of being providers, I don't care how many fucking hours you did in school. I don't care how many textbooks you read. Okay? If you ain't lived what you're talking about, you really don't have no bearing on somebody else's desire to recover and have you help them recover, because they can't fully trust somebody that hasn't had that experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the more shit I put myself through, the more bullshit I've survived, the homelessness, the addiction, bro, the grimy situations I put myself in, the jail time, the abuse I've seen, you know, the death of my brother, me going through all that shit, you know, that translates to people, you know what I mean? And everything that I've been through that's horrible for myself and have overcome is a teaching tool. And it sucks to say that the more harm that you've done yourself in your life and the more shit you put yourself through, the more you know and the more you can help somebody through it, right? But 99.999% of those people won't take that opportunity to try to fix themselves to get to that point, man. You know what I mean? After the joint in Nevada, I was done, bro.
For real?
No. I came here again. I didn't have no money, okay? I got out of Nevada, went with my mom. My mom ended up being sick. She had emphysema, COPD. This is 27 at this point.
Okay.
This is almost 9 years later. No, I'm sorry, almost 7 years later. It was 6 and some change. I found my mom sick. I come down here again. This was after my stint in the joint. I tried to acclimate back into society in Vegas, because I was on intense supervision out there after leaving the joint.
Okay.
Fucked up again. They found beer bottles in my, I was drinking, you know, I didn't think they were coming to get me. I assumed the 1 week they wouldn't, because they were skipping every other week and got into a routine. So I was sipping one day on my day off, and showing up, LV, Las Vegas Police Department, it was the gang task force. Right. Opened my door, seen breathalyzed me, I was drunk. Didn't arrest me, gave me a citation, and I had to see my probation officer 2 days later. End up taking off again, man. I come here. Okay, then this isn't where I'm starting my recovery. When I got back here, I got a job at Tyson. Yes. 27 years old, I get a job at Tyson. This is when I start messing with Melissa seriously. Okay. We got an apartment. I'm working at Tyson. I'm doing fucking good.
But in the back of your mind, you know this is still over your head?
As far as what?
Leaving Nevada?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was on a misdemeanor, so I'm assuming, okay, they're not going to extradite.
Gotcha.
So they're not going to come get me and spend all that money just on a punk little misdemeanor drinking violation, right?
Okay.
Well, I was looking at 3 years out there.
Okay.
My work buddies at the time, okay, we're getting off of work. I've been working at Tyson's for maybe a solid year, doing really good. Like I said, have my own place again. You know, this is over and over trying to get my shit right, man, but just falling into some dumb shit. And once again, I'm working with my boys. I'm drinking, we're smoking weed, and we're just doing whatever. Not causing no situations with nobody. I'm not in the jail's eyes or nothing, or the cops' eyes or nothing like that. I'm working. One of my boys is about to go do 90 days in jail. We throw a party for him. We sent a homie beforehand, before we all got off on the second shift, it was like 11 o'clock at night, to go get some liquor. Well, he's not 21, so he knows this bootlegger, okay, here in Hutch. The bootlegger lives on 6th and Main Street. He happens to be the son of Don McConaughey, who is the one that owns Don Florals, Don's Plumbing, Don's Car Care, Don, right? It's his son. Well, he bootlegs liquor because they have this like makeshift bar underneath the shop and their residential area of the building. And you go in and there's drums, there's live music, there's a full slot bar, but it's all teenagers in there, right? So my boy, I don't know if I can mention his name or not. It's my buddy Jermaine. I'll just say that. He goes to get this liquor. Well, all these boys are these Salt City skinheads, and Jermaine, my boy Jermaine's black.
I didn't know that.
This is long ago.
Okay.
I said this is old school. Mm-hmm. So he goes in there to get the liquor. Come to find out, Jermaine is dating one of these white boys' cousins.
Who's white?
So, yeah, who's white. And these are Nickerson kids, okay?
Okay.
He calls up and he's like, hey, man, these white boys aren't letting me leave. They're holding him hostage at this little bar place, like talking shit to him, talking about how you're going to leave my cousin, right? Man, you tripping. We're all Mexican that work over here at Tyson's at the time, right? And a couple other brothers that we fuck with. We'll be right there. I show up with this couple brothers and two Mexican dudes and a white boy named Willie. White boy Willie, man, just went in there and started slapping fools. Right?
White boy Willie.
And yeah, Willie. And these are white boys, okay? And then there's Mexicans and brothers out here and nothing's going on. Why? Willie's first one in the door smacking fools, right? And my boy Jermaine comes out, right? Well, as we're waiting for him to come out, he's coming out leaving. Well, we see there's about 30 people coming in after him, coming out of the door after him, right? We're already walking, right? Jermaine done left. Everything's cool. There was no problem, right? Well, as Willie's walking out, he tries to steal their keg that's sitting at the door, right? You can't pick that damn keg up. It's floaty, but you ain't picking it up, right? So he's like, trying to pick it up. Well, they see it on camera, so they start rushing out after him. They start jumping him. The homies that came with us done ran off, right? So it's just me and Willie, white boy Willie, throwing down with like 20 dudes. They end up breaking a bottle on my head right here, and on the back of my head I got this nice scar from broken bottle. I end up pulling out my knife and I stabbed two of them. I cut one across his stomach and I cut one across his neck. So there it is. I stabbed these two dudes, right? I walked straight to the police station, turned myself in. I pushed a little button, because there used to be a little button down there, it was a little speaker, right? And I was like, I hold my knife up and I'm like, I think I just killed somebody. And they're like, have a seat, we'll be right with you. So I was like, all right. So I sit down, they come and get me. They heard there was a stabbing and they're like, yeah, we got the guy here. He just walked in and turned himself in. Because I was trying to protect myself and my boy, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm damn near unconscious, getting beer bottles thrown on my head and getting stomped on. My head was on the back of a parking curb like this. Well, it's all on video. Every bit of that fight was on video. And it was proven that these other guys were the aggressors, but Kansas had no self-defense law. So I got aggravated battery with a deadly weapon ×2 with a self-defense stipulation again, okay? So I got 3 years corrections. I was supposed to do time, and they came and got me this time. So I went back and I had to do another year violation.
So you had to go back to So, okay. Are you in Supermax?
No, I'm in GP medium.
Okay.
Medium, because it was just an alcohol violation.
So how long you had to do there?
I was in there a little under a year.
So as of now, how many years total have you been incarcerated?
Together, 8.5.
And this is the last time?
No.
Okay.
This is the last time I'll do state time. Because the next time, the last time when I got arrested, when I was dealing dope, after all that, that was the last time. That was it. That's when I had my moment. But I was 45 at the time, bro. This was just, I stopped being an asshole at like 44 years old.
Oh my God.
I've been clean. I take it back, 43. I've been clean 6 years now.
Okay.
This will be my 6th year.
Okay.
January 31st will be 6 years clean and sober. So all these years pass and I'm not fucking up and I'm not doing nothing wrong and I'm just being a piece of shit out here dealing dope, selling dope, and I get caught up at my mom's house. I had 12 felony warrants.
This after out of the okay.
I come back, I get hella driving on suspendeds. This is what got me, these driving on suspendeds out here, okay? So I had warrants for failure to appear for those things. Got arrested, would do a 30-day in the county jail, get out, be on probation, not report on probation, you know, and this is the next 12 years, bro, you know?
So, okay, it's maybe personal, you don't have to answer it. You and your wife have like the greatest. Y'all are funny together.
Yeah.
You know, y'all
We
have
gotta be,
banter.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? How did she stay?
No. So the Tyson thing, when I worked there and stabbed them dudes, she did. We were done then.
Okay.
Yeah, we were done. She was tired of my shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, so we tried to make it work for like 2 years, okay?
While
And
you were locked up?
no. While I was there
Okay.
at Tyson's, and then I fucked up and had to go to Nevada and all that. I knew I had to do time, so it was, gonna be. I was like, go on with your life, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, I never disrespected, and I never attempted to interfere in her life because she was doing other shit. She was already going to school for fucking 9 years, you know what I mean? This whole time to be a therapist and get her education and do all that. And I knew when the time came, bro, that I really wanted to fucking tighten up, that she would be the one.
Okay.
That she'd be the one to help me tighten up. She knows me. She knows what I'm capable of. She knows the real me and didn't ever judge me. You know what I mean? She knows that, I'm a motherfucker that I handle this business, and when the time comes that I want to be real and settle the fuck down, that I'm going to do that, right? And I wouldn't have messed the otherwise opportunity I knew I had coming if I didn't bullshit her up until that point. You know what I mean? So I never brought any of that bullshit around her. She never knew me as a dope head. She never knew me as a dope slanger. She never knew me as this dude that had like 4 hotel rooms and one rented out and trapped out. And, that was never a part of her. Okay. So all that shit was going on. I got popped at my mom's house. I had a bunch of snitches telling cops that I had dope, and it was just this whole, it's the same situation that happened with our other guy at work, Dakota. Same people that did with him, did me. Okay, so we had that in common. A bunch of snitching on people. Like would literally take a dope sack and then drop it off to us or drop it off to me and my people, and then call the cops and be like, hey, I just dropped the sack off. Yeah, it was crazy. We didn't find this out till at the end, till after this, which don't matter no more because I don't give a shit. All that grudge is gone and I don't give a damn about it, man. Because if I did care about that shit, it'd been problems. But so all that nonsense going on, and they had me with 12 felony warrants. They caught me in my mom's house. They're knocking on the door. I'm not letting them in. I'm trying to disguise my voice. And the officer's like, John, I know that's you. I've arrested you 36 times, man. Come on, you got to come out here. So they went to the landlord of the Royal Apartments where my mom was staying. They went and got a master key for the apartment door. I seen them open the deadbolt. They pushed the door open. I kicked it shut and locked it again. Because of that, they were looking at 9 years for felony obstruction because of my prior record. Even though I hadn't been in no serious crap for the longest time, all that shit still stands. You got to remember, there's a vehicular homicide, there's 2 aggravated batteries, deadly weapon, there's multiple driving on suspended, multiple drug possessions, multiple assaults, and from 3 different states, right? And all this time. So they're like, we're done with you. You know what I mean? You're looking at 9 years, and I think you're just going to do it, is what my own lawyer was telling me. Right then and there, man, I was just like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I said, I'm getting clean and sober. I'm done. If I get a chance to bond out, I'm going to treatment, Right? I've never done treatment. I never even tried. You know what I mean? I never tried to do any of that. I just was like, that's for the birds. It ain't going to work, yada, yada. Sure enough, man, I got me a bed date, and they agreed to let me try treatment, right? Until then, because I pled guilty, mind you, for all this stuff, because I didn't want to sit in there fighting anything anymore. I wanted to get it done and be done. Whether that meant I was going to go to prison again, I was going to stay fucking sober, and when I got out, I was done. Like, done. And they said rock bottom moment, that was it, bro. I was sitting in that county jail again, sick. Just sick.
Mentally sick or sick like withdrawal?
No, mentally sick. Okay. No, mentally sick. Just sick of being there, man. And in that thing again, after numerous institutions already, you know what I mean? I knew what was coming. I knew the smell. I knew the shower system. I knew what we was going to have for breakfast. I knew I was sick of peanut butter and jelly. You know what I mean? I was just done, man. I said, people are telling on me, there ain't no way to get ahead in this game. There ain't nothing you're going to do for yourself if I keep fucking around like this. And nothing's going to change if I don't fucking change it myself, right? So I said, fuck it. And I reached out to my lawyer. I was like, look, I said, I got money to bond out. I said, I want to bond out and go to treatment because if I go to the joint, I don't want to be addicted to anything. If I got to do time. And he was like, Guerrero literally told me this. He said, I think your idea of getting clean is taking a shower. I was like, bro, that's, that's cold. Well, you count me out, So I'm like, fuck you, bro. And that was fire. That was some, gas on my fire, man, because I was like, fuck this. I got the opportunity to bond out. Melissa come and co-sign for me, got me out. The minute she, you know, I told her I was going to treatment. I said, I'm done with this shit. She's like, I'm sure she didn't believe me at first. You know what I mean? I'm sure she didn't fucking believe me at first. But she was like, you know,
I can see her being like,
she's like, I got your back. Let me see if I can get some things going.
Yeah.
So she called and got me some bed dates and open availability. Bonded out, bro. Went and hid for 8 days till my bed date. When I bonded, I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want to fuck with nobody. I didn't want a chance that somebody was going to try to, you know, entice me into doing something I didn't want to do. I didn't want no kind of influence, bro, at all to get me off this thorough ass mindset that I had at that time, right? Because I felt it, you know what I mean? I was like, I ain't never felt like being done with the bullshit like this, right? Sure enough, went out there, went to fucking treatment. My sentencing was, I think, 8 months out due to COVID and all that shit. Okay, so.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so this was the COVID era when I'm trying to get clean and shit, which was already hard on everybody enough as it was, right? Mm-hmm. I get out of treatment. Because of COVID, they took the transitional portion of the treatment facilities out, which means there was no transitional housing program for the system at that time because of the COVID. And so they were doing our 28 days and letting us out to the street to our own devices. Well, Oxford House came and did a presentation at our treatment center. I was like, sounds crazy. Let's see if I can give that a shot. I ain't got nowhere else to be. I'm too young in my recovery to get out of treatment and go back to Hutch. Ain't no way. I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to be. Right.
What city are you in?
Harvey County.
Okay.
It was Mears out in Newton. Sorry, should start with that. But I'm at the treatment center. I aced the program. I get done with the whole entire program. I go to the Oxford House for an interview, Bass House Chapter 7, and I get accepted into the Oxford House. Boy, you ain't never seen a gangster in recovery like me, bro. I hit that ground running, homie. I went after it like I went after that dope sack, bro. You know, that's what they say you have to do if you're gonna recover. You know, go after that recovery like you do your dope sack. Stop at nothing until you get it right. I started getting super involved with the Oxford House functions, how houses were run, mentoring dudes and mentoring people on corrections through corrections, and then I was encouraged to do the peer support level 1 through ads. And I did it. And it happened that the lady who was the peer support at corrections for corrections that would come to our house and deal with some of our guys told me, hey, you need to do what you're doing here and you need to do it on a bigger level. You need to see about going to talk to this dude and getting this job.
But your sentencing is still pending.
My sentencing's pending still.
Okay.
And it was 8 months when I started the house. 2 months in, they started seeing how I was hard charging and working on the recovery system for myself and others, right? Okay. And that's what gave this lady this idea to give me this job. They're like, go to this place here, 2 p.m., da-da-da-da-da. She didn't tell me what it was. She didn't tell me who it was. I get in there. I knock on the door, and I'm like, hey, John Guerrero, I was sitting here, and he's like, come on in. And I come in, and I walk in this fucking room, and there's 6 sheriffs sitting around this table. 6 Harvey County sheriffs, Chad Gay, Sheriff Chaplains, the mayor of Newton.
You had no idea.
No idea that this is the interview. This is the board of directors for this place that I'm interviewing for, and they needed a peer support with lived experience. I thought I was getting in trouble. I thought I was busted.
You thought this shit up.
I'm like, what? So they're like, have a seat, and I'm sitting at this table, and I'm like, what the? He's like, John. He's like, I'm L.A. His name Larry Alexander, big old white country boy. He's like, we heard a lot about you, and we're interested on doing a transitional peer support recovery program for this agency, for the sheriff's department. I'm like, okay, like, you guys know who I am, right? You know what I've been through, right? What I've done, right? So he's like, I don't want you to think you're being ambushed here. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. He's like, I just want to know what are some of the struggles that you've gone through and what is it that you feel could be a positive thing here at this if we're trying to do this. So their focus was recidivism reduction and reentry. I said, oh, people getting out of jail? I said, I just been through all this. I just went through getting my ID. I just went through getting my social security back. I just went through getting my driver's license. I just went through looking for notaries to notarize shit to get my birth certificate. I just went through job applications. You know, I've done all this. I've been through Oxford House, the recovery, meetings. I know how these things go. I said, if you're looking for like somebody to help people through that process, let's go. And they said, okay, let's get you set up. So what happened was I had no idea that this was what it was, but we were going into Harvey County Jail to help the people getting out of jail that were working the programs there have a smooth transition into a better life. So what I started doing was I would go to employers, kind of advocate for them. Because remember, this wasn't a HIPAA thing. This was a law enforcement thing. There's different rules than there is for us, right? So I could go third party all I wanted. I was out there like a madman, bro, out there connecting people to jobs, medication services, all this stuff, and going in and mentoring them in the jail and telling them what they needed to do in order to get out. So when they got out, they had employment, they had housing, they had meds, they had therapy, they had mental health services, they had everything they needed the minute they got out of that door. You know what I mean? So I had 90 days from the time the program started for them inside the jail to have them fully stocked up on whatever they needed for life so that they didn't have to worry about any of those basic needs when they got out. And that was going to be the main focus of the reentry program, was making sure their basic needs are met, so that's something that they don't have to fucking worry about. Because if their basic needs are met, then that means they can worry about all the other stuff that's more important than a fucking meal or a blanket or a pillow. So that's what happened there, bro. And then I worked there for 2.5 years, was doing some crazy shit, you know, holding substance use groups with them and just advocating for them all throughout the meeting halls there, and just going hard for peer support there. And then they got a load of me down there at Horizons, and they were like, come interview, and that was it, man.
So when did the sentencing get?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm working for CCRT, the sheriff's office, right?
Okay.
Sentencing, I go back, I present everything that I've done to the judge. Now, this is Judge Rose here in Reno County. She's the one that gave me the opportunity to go to treatment, to see what I did with it, right? I go back for sentencing. So, mind you, this is 8 months. I've been working for CCRT for 2 months at the time for the sheriff's office. Okay. So 2 months in, I go back to court, and I'm standing there, you know, and she was like, what is it? What have you done with this time that you've been allotted, right? Listen, I knew I was going to fight for my life, so I wrote everything down. This 3 pages that I read to her, shaky and scared and nervous, and, you know, because I know there's a chance that I'm looking at 7 to 9 years right now for this. I'm fighting for my life, right? So I just listed everything I did, and she was like, Mr. Guerrero, we're not accustomed to giving somebody your age a second chance, since you've gone this far doing this much and not changing within, you know, these guys and everything. Every time you've gotten into trouble, you've never changed what you've done. And this time it looks like it's different. She said, you've done all this and you've made some significant moves to better your life, and you're helping other people and you're advocating. And she said, this is exactly what we want to see. I'm going to sentence you to a year of corrections. And if you walk that down, so mind you, I'm working for the sheriff's department that entire time on corrections. I'm walking in the corrections office like I own it. Like, what's up, Tim? How you doing? Like my corrections officer, they all love me, you know. They're, hey man, you know, hey, I heard you was working with such and such and such. I'm like, yeah, piss test clean, everything clean, train tracks, you know. So I ended up working for CCRT for a whole nother 2 years, man. And Melissa tells me about Horizon wants to start a peer support program. I was like, really? I was like, okay, that's cool. I'd like to be a part of that. Let's go. She's like, I can't help you get the job. Don't even put my name on the application, because we can't. You know, So this whole time while I'm in the Oxford House and doing all this in Newton, I'm with Melissa. She's helping me through all this stuff, right? Shortly after that, we make it official, and I'm like, I move in, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, living like this, bro. You know, it just, but being through, and her helping me through all that, bro, I would never have accomplished what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for her having my back, bro.
That's dope, bro.
You know what I mean? So everybody needs that type of cheerleading, you know what I mean? Everybody needs that, bro.
Yeah.
And not everybody got it, you know? So for us to be those cheerleaders for somebody, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know how far? So at work, man, I make it a point. I don't care who it is, staff, client, director, whatever it is, man. Spend 5 seconds being a positive something for that person. Like, check out that shirt, that's fly. I mess with you, boy, but you dressing sharp. So I be like, with them cream colors, you know, shout out to my boy. But you know, them 5 seconds that you're spending on 5 people, bro, is gonna make 5 people's 24 hours, because that's people shit that they don't hear all the time.
Yeah.
You know, our clients that we work with, bro, they're in bad shape, man. They have, their houses is jacked, their relationships are jacked, their mindset is jacked. For us to be a positive, you know, hour and a half with group, or that 1 hour to be with that client and pump them up and put the air in their cells, bro, to keep them moving that next day.
Yeah.
It's priceless, bro.
That's dope, bro.
It's priceless.
I just learned something. I appreciate that. That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Man, I take a lot of stuff from you, and you probably don't even know it, but like you're really inspiring and like help people, man.
I appreciate that, man. But here's the thing also, man. I have as much respect for myself as I do the next man that does the same shit I do, bro. And you're one of those dudes, right? I mean, you're one of them, bro.
Yeah.
Your fucking clients love you. Your team loves you. You know, I'm tired of Kelsey talking about you.
Kelsey hating on me,
bro. No, man, I'm tired of yeah, man. It's like Thaddeus' numbers. I said, I'm coming for his dashboard, buddy. That's where we measure all our productivity. Yeah, we got some numbers, boy. Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I respect that, man. I respect somebody that'll do the job and do the job well. And long story short with, as you know, they didn't have a peer support program at Horizons, so they brought me in. I created that whole group program from Monday to Saturday, bro. You know
and it runs so smoothly, man. Like the way that y'all got that operating it's really dope.
It wasn't easy at first, man. It wasn't. But now, you know, since that took off so successfully and that now I'm doing the AOT program.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, the AOT program is assisted outpatient or assigned outpatient treatment. It's court mandated mental health services for the people that don't realize they're sick or too sick to seek help. So the court orders them treatment through our agency. And I coordinate the services that these guys get. I check on them, make sure that they're getting their services provided, make sure that they're being safe, that they're in a safe environment, that they're meeting with, like Thaddeus, he's on one of my treatment teams with one of my guys, works really well with them. You know, and that's, you know, it's essentially like mental health probation. Okay, it's like I'm gonna kick the door and, hey, you're coming to get your shot. You got to come meet your therapist. You got this appointment over here. We got to go do this and make sure that they stay in compliance with the court. And if not, they can be found in contempt or they get involuntary into a hospital, which nobody wants.
I just thought of two questions. One question would be, in the field that you're in, if you had a magic wand, or the money wasn't an issue, what would you add?
Listen, man.
To help for
well,
services?
What I do?
Yeah.
My one thing that I know would be an absolute return on every investment we could ever make, and it doesn't even matter how much that would be transitional housing, man.
Bro.
Transitional true rent housing for substance use and mental health. So
that is the hardest thing here.
Yeah. If we could, I'm not gonna say if we could find funding, because funding's here. Funding's there.
It is?
Funding's there everywhere. But if we say in Reno County, our homeless community is, let's be on the safe side and say 200 people.
Safe.
Okay. We purchase a 100-unit apartment building or build it from the ground up. You charge people true rent, people that have their Social Security, people that have, you know what I mean? You do them like HUD does them. If we're a not-for-profit, let's be non-profit and let's put this money back into the people, right? Because that's what we do at Horizons. We're CCBHC, not-for-profit. Every dollar we get back goes right back into the clients for their care and their whatever else they need, the groups and all that extra stuff that comes with it. If we were to open up transitional housing for the homeless population, for people with substance use disorder and mental health, for that dual diagnosis, where you could have on-staff therapists, on-staff med provider, case managers, peer support, therapists, food, you know, delivered to each building, you know what I'm saying, or each apartment, something like that, where they could be closely monitored and also cheerleaded for as well, you know, advocated for, and keep them wanting to live like that. That cut back on the jail stays, that cut back on hospital admissions, cut back
the crisis. Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing like that here. There's nothing like it here.
Yeah. That's big. It's so hard. That's the biggest obstacle here, is trying to help someone find housing.
Yeah, well, and especially the mental health population, because like at Oxford House, they're not tolerant of mental health issues. You're already dealing with enough with drug use and substance use to try and stay away from drugs. You don't have time to be dealing with somebody's yelling at themselves over here in the corner, you know what I mean, and making a place scary or weird or whatever, you know, so they don't tolerate that. And they also don't tolerate a lot of mental health medications that are prescribed because they're narcotic or somebody can abuse them. So, if we could, transitional housing for the mental health and not a lockup setting. You know what I mean? Where we can teach them DLAs, where we can teach them how to care for their stuff, where we can teach them how to save money for this if they want this, or how to go pay your utilities, or how to pay your rent on time, how to budget to pay that rent. Oh, you want to rent movies next week. Well, check it out. You need to save this, this, and this out of this little bit of money, you know. So you have, you know, just small things that a lot of people
take for granted.
Right, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
with your extended knowledge now of mental health, of being able to read people, understanding relationships, has it helped you deal with, let's say, relationships of the past, of family members and friends, like your mother, your father?
Oh yeah.
It
makes me hella tolerant, bro, to every situation I've ever witnessed. You know what I mean? Because it all has to do with somebody's mental health and their mental well-being as to why their acts are like they are. You know, I can't. So becoming a victim, you could either succumb to that victimization, or you could become a hero of your own existence, bro. Okay. I choose to become that hero instead, and not become an offender ever again. Like, you know what I mean? I forgive the people that I've harmed. I've harmed a lot of people too, though. You know what I mean? And I hope I get that same bit of grace, you know, knowing that I was not in a good place when it happened. You know what I mean? And that's not going to be 100% the answer to it, because you're not always going to be forgiven for the shit you've done, you know, period. But I do, and I think me forgiving anybody that's wronged me, or any kind of situation I've been in that's traumatic for me, I think holding a grudge for that, I think it damages you even further. You know what I mean? It keeps you a victim, you know? So yeah, I think with the knowledge of the mental health I have now, and how it works, and how, you know, some people can't control some of the things that they do, impulsivities and certain situations they're created because of, you know, how somebody lives or how they act. It's just, I don't know. I don't hold anybody responsible for, you know, how I turned out.
Got you.
You know?
Got you. A couple more questions, about 2 or 3. Can you explain the meaning behind some of your art, or the reasoning?
So this is see no evil, speak no evil, but listen to everything. Okay, that's why I got the stitches and the stitches in my mouth. You don't talk about shit. You know what I mean? Loose lips sink ships, so to speak. This one up here, so it was changed to a phoenix because out of the ashes, rising. You know what I mean? This one's my breaking the chains of addiction, with the birds flying up. Turning into crows, the chains turning into crows.
Okay.
I've got a lot of gang member tattoos all over my body and shit that just. But yeah, for those significantly, and then it's broken, of course. This originally was going to be broken, not beaten. I still want to do that. I still want to finish that. So, yeah.
Okay.
This one stands for by any means shoot to kill. That was our gang motto. So, yeah, I can't bring myself to cover it for some reason. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. I think I lived it so long that I feel like I've earned it regardless.
Yeah.
You know, and the work I had to put in to get that shit, just, yeah. I don't want to erase that person. You know what I mean? I want to erase the mentality and the attitude, but that person's still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you forgive that person?
That's a hard one, bro. I look back at some of the shit I do and that I've done, and I can't undo it. You know what I mean? And that's a shitty part of my past. You know.
So do you have more grace for people toward you? Like you say, you'll forgive people that did things to you. So are you not ready? Or are you just like,
As far as what?
Like you said, you've done a lot of things in the past.
Yeah.
And you said you don't know if you're like, is there going to be a time? Yeah. Like, all right, bro. It's okay. Like you're talking to you like.
No, I think I'm content with who I am now, bro. I feel like slowly but surely I'm making up for the shit I've done, right? But even though I'm making up for shit now, that's not truthfully healing the other people that I fucked off, right?
Got you.
So I could be better now all I want, but that doesn't change how I made that person feel at that time, right? So you can't take none of that back, and that's sad for me. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to be 100% recovered and not be what you were, you know, the cliche and all that Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and shit that make amends and all the steps, too uniform for me. I don't play that shit. I kind of run by my own steps, right? And that's do right by all now, you know what I mean? But in a way, I feel like anybody I can remember fucking over or doing something wrong to or hurting, or I want to apologize personally,
Yeah.
you know, to that person, because the thought of being sorry about it doesn't help that person.
Gotcha.
You know, no matter what you do, you know, how bad you feel about it. You know what I mean?
So this is the last part. I'm gonna say some people, and I'm not here. Joselito's not here. If they were here and you could say how you feel, what you think, or apologize, or just tell them what's on your mind. If you want to speak on it, you speak on it. Does it make?
I mean, I would want those people to know that I'm not that person. I am very sorry for any kind of pain, discomfort, or anything negative that has ever been caused. You know what I mean? That's just...
What would you say to your dad?
My dad?
Yeah.
I talk to my dad every day now. I love my dad. I love my dad. I got a lot of respect for him. You know, the past is the past, and I hold a lot of anger towards him for such a small time in life. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I kind of did that to my own kids. You know what I mean? So I had to learn with my own kids, too, how to gain their trust back. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, fuck, I am my dad, right? You know, and I know I got my reasons for whatever, you know, taking off and leaving, being away from my kids and shit. But now I have my kids with me. I have custody of every one of them. You know, I've been taking care of them for the last 6 years. So at the same time, they're starting to see that dad don't play either. You know, that, you know, so through the years, I've been able to see that my dad, you know, is a good man. You know, he's doing right. You know, and I can't hold him responsible. I can, because it happened, but I don't want to, for that little portion of my life, hold that against him, because he lost a son too. I lost a brother, right? But he lost a son too. You know what I mean? And I can't blame him for his conduct and the way he reacted to things himself too, because, so, you know, I love my dad. I love my grandparents. I love everybody. You know what I mean?
Your mom?
I love my mom. I lost my mom.
You did?
Yeah.
My mom, 15.
Yeah, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's hard. Especially when you ain't got nobody there to help you through it, bro.
Yeah, bro, it was like, this is real.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't no press rewind.
No,
it
man.
ain't no other
I'm looking
phone
at
call.
my brother Gray in a coffin, bro. Like, I'm 16 years old. I'm like, is this fucking real? Like,
Yeah.
And then, you know what really kills me about that, man, is that I had to leave my brother in the ground, cold. Like, that bothers me. That bothers me to this day, him being cold. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. That's hard.
What would you say to a broad statement to, like, your kids?
To my kids?
Yeah.
Oh, I love my kids. I'd kill for my kids. I'd go to prison for my kids. You know what I mean? They know. I think I put a lot of work in to kind of make up for, you know, some of the thoughts that they had, you know, not under their own opinion, but of opinions of others, because I wasn't around. You know, they got that edge in there. So my biggest payback there is that they see now that a lot of the shit that was being said about me from that party was bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love every one of my kids. All 7 of them.
What would you say to Melissa?
She saved my fucking life, bro. Melissa saved my motherfucking life. She saved my life, bro. I couldn't have done it without her. I wouldn't have been encouraged. Every time I wanted to fucking quit, she was right there in my ear, like, just do it. Just fucking do it. You gotta do it. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. And every time she did that, bro, my plate got a little smaller and a little smaller and a little smaller. Finally, I was just doing little shit. You know what I mean? Like, she helped me through that shit. Like, I wouldn't have been able to help myself through that like she did, bro. So, I mean, I try to tell her, and I try to tell her that she's the reason, and she's like, you did this yourself. I did the work, motherfucker, but you showed me 90% of what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I did what you told me to do. So, yeah, I owe her more than anything.
Last thing, what would you say to your brother?
Fuck, I miss you, dude. That's it.
I'm sure he's proud of you, man.
I hope so.
Bro, it's been dope. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all, man.
We gotta do part 2.
I'm down with that. Yeah.
We gotta come back and do a part 2. Insightful, inspiring. The work you do, like, you're a superstar, bro. You're like,
we do
all pro over there, man. You know, in the community with the people. You're a Hall of Famer, and I appreciate you. I'm sure everybody appreciates you, man. Like, everything was like, kudos to you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
So another episode of Life and Times in Tub City with Tub City. And John Guerrero.
Hey.
Appreciate